With China's economy growing at 5% a year, there's scope for so much more. The rise of the Chinese middle class, 500 million consumers, and its spending power will make it a critical market for goods and services.
We need to work with business to grow trade and investment with China, and that sets a very clear direction for business and government to be working together in that area.
The contribution that UK and Chinese businesses, researchers and scientists make to tackling global challenges and advancing common global goods, and frankly trying to make our world a better place. And that is what we have to try to continue to do.
I think having an event like today is absolutely fundamental because we need people to engage in discussion and constructive dialogue about China and Britain. We need to get back to where we were a few years ago, and we need businesses to understand the opportunities presented by China and the UK.
Well, I think it's important to keep talking, and I think trade is something that can help everybody. And no matter what else is going on in the world, I think that there are definitely areas where we can cooperate and should continue to cooperate for our benefit, for China's benefit, but also for the benefit of mankind. In particular, the issues of net zero. It's an existential issue for all of humanity. So this, if nowhere else, this is an area where we should be cooperating.
We are absolutely very impressed on how China is really taking sustainability and particularly transition very seriously. They are one of the countries with a very clear taxonomy around that.
I believe it's going to getting better and better. Yes, pandemic has been a big impact for every single country, which including China. And when I talk with a lot of my colleagues in China, we are confident their opportunities, their growth drivers in China still going to be really positive.
There's so many ways that we can collaborate. I think we should be focusing on what puts us or brings us together as opposed to what keeps us apart. And there are far too many things that actually brings us together. Let's focus on those.
I think the main highlights of the discussion were effectively universities in the UK want to continue doing work with China. I think the research partnerships that we have are invaluable for the development of the science hub in the UK, also for the development of education worldwide. I mean, international collaboration, networking for students is essential for society's development, for geopolitics to improve. And in reality, I think our main message was that we need to continue to be brave. We need to continue collaboration and discussions. There are 150,000 Chinese students in the UK studying at universities, of which 60,000 return to China annually. They actually impact the Chinese economy, but also help with building ties, economic ties, scientific ties, engineering ties between the two countries.
Well, I think it's a reiteration of what a tremendous opportunity China is for the UK, both to work in China, but also obviously in terms of the inward investment into the UK. And nowhere is that more true than in the education sector, where we have so many students now studying Lancaster degrees in China, as well as obviously a very significant number of Chinese students coming to the UK.
The opportunities for brands in China, it's limitless. And when you look at the opportunity for British brands in China, it presents a huge opportunity. So I'm very optimistic. I think the foundations are there for growth, the sheer numbers of middle-class consumers, and that's such a growing segment in China are there too. So definitely the future's bright.
So many sessions and the topics are so useful. I think it's for both sides, not only we are the China companies in the UK, also good for British companies, they want to invest in China.
So I love these get-togethers from the CBBC for a number of reasons really. It's a great chance to hear government's opinion of China business trade, and also just to have some fantastic, deep and meaningful conversations with not only brands but also suppliers and everybody involved in the China supply chain.
Well, it's been great after 3 years to have one of these events where everyone can get together again. These are people that we've worked with for a long period of time. There's a real buzz and excitement in the room as China reopens to start talking about business with China, investment from China. It's great to be back open for business.
I'm actually really amazed how many people are here today. So it's important to have a very good conversation between people from different countries, in this case from China, from UK, to talk about this very important topic. So I believe we should have more of these occasions and bring the leaders to talk about tangible actions to contribute for a sustainable journey.
It is quite a luxury to actually have these meetings in person, and this just proves by the number of attendees how many people are actually interested in doing business together.